I'm looking forward just to enjoy my last season with the team and all my, this is what I've worked for my whole life. Since I started in second grade in California, just growing up wanting to play football. And then I moved to Oregon and I knew Jesuit was the spot for me, and that's where I wanted to go. So it means a lot just being in that leadership role and having fun as a senior.
I've been going to Jesuit football camps since I was, a little kid. So to be in this spot right now, it's kind of a dream come true. It hasn't really hit me yet. We haven't started school or anything, but I think once September 2nd rolls around and we take the field, I think I'll know what it means to be a senior on the Jesuit football team.
Going into my senior year as a team, I think we've all been growing together since, our freshman year. So, I think we're gelling pretty well. So, I'm excited to be one of the leaders on the team, to be first, to show examples to younger kids. I'm not more of a vocal leader, but I lead by example. So, that's been my trait these last 3 years. So, coming into my senior year, I'm excited what we can do as a team. Our first goal is to beat Canby, first game of the season, win Metro, and then that's all we're focused on right now. Individually, my goals are, to give it everything I got on my field. It's my last year at Jesuit. I've worked hard for the last 3 years to be my turn. I've been patient. So, I'm just excited to show the state and the school, what I have and what I can bring to the football team.
Well, I've been really excited. It's been a really good transition. A lot of players have been really nice to me. I know there's a lot of talent. Rocky's going to be playing quarterback. Doug's the fullback. We just got to have a stacked O-line, and we just have really good athletes all around. The coaching staff is always amazing, and just the school itself is also awesome. So I'm really excited for the season, and I can't wait to get on the field.
Expectations for the team, obviously we want to win state. We want to get better every game we play. We want everything to work, and I just want to be a part of that. I want to win.
We've been training, I'd say hard since the second week of Christmas break, and I've been really inspired by the way that off-season training has sort of taken a change from, you don't see guys starting to come in and start their training in June. You see a lot of guys training in January, and I think the early starts to facilitate team chemistry. And I've been glad to see the development that these guys have gone through, mentally, morally, certainly physically, and we've really bonded a lot.
For me, I'm looking most forward to the leadership. Finally, looking up to all these guys over the years, and then, finally being able to stand at the top and say, it's my turn to lead, and it's my turn to, show the guys that are coming into the program, how it's done, and why we have such a successful program here, year in and year out.
I'm looking forward just to enjoy my last season with the team and all my, this is what I've worked for my whole life. Since I started in second grade in California, just growing up wanting to play football. And then I moved to Oregon and I knew Jesuit was the spot for me, and that's where I wanted to go. So it means a lot just being in that leadership role and having fun as a senior.
What it means to be a Jesuit Crusader, it's tradition. You're not going to talk a lot on the field, you're just going to improve with your play. You're a hard worker. You're going to give it everything you got. You're going to let your play speak for itself, and we're ready to prove to say that we're going to hang with the big boys.
As a team, our first and foremost goal is win Metro. Year in and year out, we focus on that, and that's our first priority because really the non-league doesn't really matter. It just comes down to the 5 teams in our league and how we compete against them. And, if once we finish that goal, then, other goals, we just take it one game at a time in the playoffs.
It would be beyond huge for me this year as part of Jesuit football 2011 to go out and bring a state championship back to Jesuit because we haven't had one since '06. It's going to take a lot to get past teams like Aloha, Sheldon, kids like that. Great programs. It was great to see another Metro League team go out and win a state championship. It just validates the fact that Metro is the hardest league in the state. And I have nothing but respect for those guys. They did something that hasn't been seen in that area for 33 years. So it's going to take a lot, but I think we can do it.
As a running back, I think I'm a kid who puts his foot in the ground and goes north and south. I don't do a lot of dancing, but I'll get the tough yards. I'm fast enough to get on the outside. But I think my key strength is I'll put one foot in the ground, make one cut, and get as many yards as I can.
I think I read the plays really well. I read the O-line. I played as a spread offense running back last year, so I have to kind of think on my feet and make reaction plays often. And so that's going to help me a lot. When we're going in this I formation, I'm going to be able to read plays better than I think a lot of the other running backs. And, safety-wise, I like to hit, and I can get to the ball. So that helps, and I'm a good coverage guy.
Definitely just, my leadership skills, I think, big part along with, the other seniors we have on the team. And just being able to show younger guys the ropes, and if somebody were to get hurt, they could step up, and we have a team of plenty of guys that can fill in any spot anytime.
It's going to be a fun year. Obviously, junior year is a big year for me, but we just want to get better. We want to win, and we want to get better.
I got an offer a couple months ago. I went over to Portland State, and Coach Burton and Coach Jackson were sitting in the office, and they told me that I had an offer there, and that they really wanted me there as a safety. And I went home and talked to my parents, and then after my parents went to the school, checked it out, met the coaching staff, and saw the academic facilities. They said that they loved it, and one day I just walked downstairs and I said, Mom, Dad, this is a place that I really want to be at, and I really like Portland State. So I called up Coach Burton and Coach Jackson and left them both messages saying that I verbally committed, and it went from there.
I've always taken my academics really seriously. I did a science camp at Stanford actually when I was younger for educational programs for gifted youth at Stanford, and I've always taken academics really seriously. I take AP and honors here. I got a 30 on the ACT, and I'm going to take the SAT soon. So I've had a lot of the Ivy Leagues tell me I academically qualify, and I'm going through the process right now with Princeton and Brown and a couple other schools like that. So for me, I want to go somewhere where the academics are important. I don't want to go somewhere just to be a football player, because I don't intend on playing in the NFL, and so it's important to me to get the most I can out of my education and use football to get me there. So for me, D1 isn't even the ultimate goal. If I can go somewhere, D1 AA or D3 that has a better education than the D1 school that's offered me, or anything like that, then that's what I'm going to do.
I'd like to go to West Point, I'd like to branch infantry, go to Ranger School, get an infantry platoon for a couple years, try to get on with the 75th Ranger Regiment, and ultimately try to get up to the Special Forces. It's been my dream for a long time. I'm associated with a sergeant or a lieutenant at my sheriff's office who was a very successful Special Forces sergeant, and I greatly respect and admire that man. I'd like to follow a career like that. Last time I won a championship, I was a 6th grader, and I remember when I was a 7th grader, we lost the championship in youth football. And I know it's youth football, but to this day, I have not listened to We Are the Champions in its entirety, and I refuse to do so until we win a state championship. And you can ask Drew, you can ask Jama, the guys that I've trained with in power training. Every time that song comes on, I either have to change it or leave the weight room, because I can't stand listening to it until we win a state championship.
I'm a pilot. I've been working on my pilot's license, so I did my first solo flight this summer. So right now I can fly anywhere within 100 miles in my airplane. So
There you go.
yeah, that's why I like that Air Force offer. So
I don't know. I can solve a Rubik's Cube pretty fast. We had to learn that in our math class this year, so so that's funny. But
And they wouldn't know that I also was in a play. My brother convinced me. He's really into drama here at Jesuit. He's going to be a junior, and he convinced me to try out for a play, and I made it in the spring. So it was fun. I was Gaston in a
nice.
play.
There you go. So have you talked to Coach Burton about potentially being a star in 2 different things, football and drama and acting?
I think when the time comes to bring it up, I think it'll be right. They have a good program over there at PSU, so it'll be fun, and we'll see how that goes.
Nice.